Welcome back, class of 2026. This is your grade level administrator, Ms. Piskoty, and I'm coming to you today because I wanted to discuss our rights and responsibilities out of the Student Success Handbook. We'll get to that shortly, but I want to welcome you back. We are so excited that you are here. And our motto for our class of 2026 is work hard, dream big, and stay kind, along with following your core expectations here at Raymond Park. I have a list of items that I'd like to go through today with you, but I'm so glad that you're ready and willing to go through this together. So, I want to start by showing you what you're going to receive this morning or this afternoon from your teachers or even your counselor, and it looks like this. This is the Student Success Handbook. It is very important that you go and review this even with your parents when you do receive it. You'll be asked to sign off that you have received it and read it, went through it, and also took into consideration what I'm about to tell you, because these are very important to your success here at Raymond Park. So let's take a look. All right, so let's open up. Now, Ms. Piskoty always has to have things tabbed, so this helps me. So if you'd like to maybe fold a corner down, that could help you out too. I want to start on page 4. So if you could turn to page 4 with me, that would be great. Let me get there. And you'll see something that looks like this. This is our journey of a graduate, and it's critical thinking, communication, citizenship, content knowledge, collaboration, and resilience. This is how we want you to apply your academics and also your behaviors. This is a successful journey in Warren Township. I want you to take a look at that, and your teachers will be going through that a little bit more with you to describe about what that may look like in the classroom, and then also we'll take a look at what it looks like out here in the hallways and around Raymond Park. So now let's review some of your rights and responsibilities. I'd like you to turn to page 27. So we're going from page 4 to page 27. So I'm going to use my little tab here. On page 27, you should see a chart. This chart, it discusses your supports and how we can help you as a student here at Raymond Park. And it also gives you on this side the consequences. Sometimes we have difficulty following core expectations, which is civility, order, respect, and excellence. And we have to sometimes take into consideration some consequences because of behaviors. I want you to take a look at, let's look at a couple of the supports to help you out if you have an issue. Maybe we have a conference. Maybe we have, some positive communication with your parents. Maybe we have some relationship strategies. And let's look at one more. Maybe even a meeting with a counselor or even Ms. Piskoty. If those don't always work out, we have levels that we go through. Level 1 being the least severe, all the way to level 5 being the most severe. We never want to try to get to level 5. This is where we need to work together to try to help each other out. So we just talked about the T-chart of support on page 27. I'd like you to now turn to page 29 with me, and let's look at how those levels go into an actual violation. Let's take a look at fighting. Now, each incident has a code, and fighting right here on page 29 happens to be code 11. And that's what would be on your consequence form. And I want you to be understanding of those codes. So take a look at these. Again, your teacher or counselor or even me, your administrator, will help you understand each of those. So take a look. And each code has different levels, and what we just discussed on page 27, from the least severe to the most severe. Check out where fighting actually lands. If we look, Code 11, there is no level 1. It goes straight to level 2 and up to level 5. So when you have a consequence, it can take different forms of levels, and you need to be willing to explain yourself and talk about it with your administrator or grade level administrator or your counselor. And we can offer supports to you, but also sometimes we have to take the steps in order to solve and resolve the behaviors. So I also want you to take a look. So there's fighting. Let's talk about technology. Many of us could be, we're going to be virtual, but many of us might even be at home. And you might say, well, Miss Piskoty, I'm at home. I might be using a Chromebook from Raymond Park, but what does that have to do with me? Just remember, Code 20 on page 31, so turn with me to 31. It's at the top. It's rather large if you take a look. That's Code 20. And technology misuse, it can be all levels. Check this out. So from level 1 all the way to level 5. And again, this is your digital footprint. If you send, maybe post, video, or type, that is your digital footprint and you are responsible for that. And we want you to know to be mindful and follow core expectations with your technology. We can always help you if you are not understanding what that means and what it looks like. Please see your counselor or myself or even your teacher if needed. All right, so there's the technology misuse. I also want to bring up the fact of bullying or cyberbullying. That would also fall under a different code. Remember, always follow core. If you are concerned, please let us know. Now I'd like you to turn to page 37 with me. Okay, here goes Miss Piskoty turning to 37. And I hope you're following with me. Okay, on 37, there is an item called due process. And you have a right to due process. Now you might be thinking, well, Miss Piskoty, that's a pretty interesting term, due process. What does that mean? If you're looking on 37 with me, I want you to know due process is when you have an opportunity to explain your point of view, okay, on a situation or a behavior or a violation that you may be questioned about. And due process can come in different forms. It could come in a written student statement. It could be an interview with an administrator. It could be an interview with a counselor if warranted. Or it could be just an explanation. And it's an opportunity for you to state your truth and also an explanation of what occurred. So just remember, this is your right on page 37 to have due process. And I'd like you to read through that with your teacher or with your counselor or on your own with your parents or guardian. Okay, let's turn to page, now this is a big one, let's turn to 51. All right, so we got to go to 51. Here we go. And you might be saying, well, Miss Piskoty, I'm really glad that I have an opportunity with due process to explain myself, but what if I still need more support, or maybe I want to question what else happened and why did I get that consequence? We have a thing called behavior review. It's on page 51, and here it is. And I hope you're there. And a behavior review gives you all your options or even the next steps or alternatives and an explanation as to why you received that consequence or even an outcome. So I wanted you to be aware of that as well. So that's a lot. This is a large book, and we want you to really take this into consideration and go over it with your parent or guardian. It is your right, and it's important for you to understand the items that are in this, as well as understanding our core values here at Raymond Park. I also want to say, last but not least, we have a lot going on during COVID. We must follow the big three, these big three items. Social distancing, use of PPE, personal protective equipment, and that can be anything from a face covering to a face shield. We want to make sure that we are all safe, and even washing and disinfecting our hands. Those are the big three that we need to make sure that we are following here at Raymond Park. And we want to ensure that by our safety here. So please make sure that you are doing those big three items at all times. A teacher may also give you permission with a face covering to have a break That is only with permission. Otherwise, face coverings are to be worn at all times here at Raymond Park, except for when eating and drinking. It is going to be very important. You'll see Miss Piskoty with her PPE on or my mask, but right now I'm by myself in my office recording. So I want you to understand this is very important for our safety, as well as our Student Success Handbook that is all about safety and security here at Raymond Park. I want to thank you, class of 2026, and I'm very excited to work with you. And remember our motto: work hard, dream big, and stay kind. And remember, follow our core expectations: civility, order, respect, and excellence. And I can't wait to see you